Welcome to this Hope to Go. Today I want to talk to you about In God We Trust. You know, trouble can work for you or against you. There's an old story, and it's told of a king in Africa who had a close friend with whom he grew up with. Now, the friend had a habit of looking at every situation that ever occurred in his life, positive or negative, and remarking, "This is good." One day the king and his friend were out on a hunting expedition. The friend would load and prepare the guns for the king. The friend had apparently done something wrong in the preparation of one of the guns. For after taking the gun, the king fired it and his thumb was blown off. Wow. Studying the situation now, the friend stated, as usual, "This is good." To which the king replied, "No, this is not good," and proceeded to send his friend to jail. About a year later, the king was hunting in an area that he should have known to stay clear of. Cannibals captured him and took him to their village. They tied his hands, stacked some wood, and set up a stake and bound him to the stake. As they came near to set the firewood, they noticed that the king was missing a thumb. Being superstitious, they never ate anyone that was less than whole. So, untying the king, they sent him on his way. As he returned home, he was reminded of the event that had taken his thumb and felt bad for his treatment of his friend. He immediately went to the jail to speak with his friend. "You were right," he said. "It was good that my thumb was blown off." And he went on to tell his friend all that had happened. And so I am very sorry for sending you to jail for so long. It was bad for me to do that. "No," his friend replied, "this is good." "What do you mean this is good? How could it be good that I sent my friend to jail for a year? If I had not been in jail, I would have been with you." Well, he would have probably been on the plate. You know, Romans 8:28 says, "And we know that God causes all things to work together for the good of those who love God and who are called according to his purpose." It doesn't say that God causes everything to work out the way I want it to. God causes everything to have a happy ending on earth. We live in a fallen world, and we know that God causes means that your life is not a random series of events. There is a master plan. Let me give you some hope to go. In God we trust. To walk in victory in spite of circumstances. Number one, stay focused on God, not your problems. Hebrews 12:2, the New Living Version says this: "We do this by keeping our eyes on Jesus, the champion who has initiated and perfects our faith. Because of the joy awaiting him, he endured the cross, disregarding its shame. Now he is seated in the place of honor beside God's throne." Holocaust survivor Corrie ten Boom has been quoted saying, "If you look at the world, you will be distressed. If you look within, you will be depressed. But if you look at Christ, you will be at rest." Now, the secret to endurance is to remember that the pain is temporary and our reward is eternal. And two, don't give in to short-term thinking. Romans 8:18 says, "For I consider that the suffering of this present time are not worthy to be compared with the glory which shall be revealed in us." Now, Pastor Rick Warren says this: "Because God is in control, accidents are just incidents in God's plan for you." And finally, refuse to give up. James, the wisdom book of the New Testament, in the first chapter and the 12th verse says, "He who perseveres to the end will receive a crown of life." Now, endurance is the mark of a disciple of Christ. Let me give you this big hope truth. You will know that you're growing in endurance when your prayers during the times of trouble become less "comfort me" kinds of prayers and more "conform me" kinds of prayer. When God requires us to stay in a difficult situation, he provides a special grace for us to get through it. It's the kind of grace that leads others to look at us and to think, "Wow, I can't believe that they're dealing with this and still have such a peace." That's faith. And that's your hope to go.